Finding your soulmate is something amazing, almost surreal. Words cannot fully express the feeling. It can be likened to finding a missing piece of a puzzle, one you did not even realize was missing. You guys just fit together like you were meant for each other. The connection you share is one of a kind. You know each other well, probably more than you know yourselves. Yet soulmates do not always end up married. The relationship could end due to different reasons, and living without that person is an unimaginable pain. When you are searching for your soulmate, pray. When you find your soulmate, pray. If you lose your soulmate, you are to pray as well. The same God that helped you find that special person can also help you keep him or her. He can direct you back to your soulmate. You just have to ask. It may seem trivial and unnecessary because it is a common occurrence, but it is not trivial to God. Whatever concerns you matters to God. What people say should not stop you from speaking to God about it and seeking His help. God is always there for you, no matter the issue. He will send help to you, and remember, what God joins together, no one can put asunder. When God's plan for a person is fulfilled, the devil usually tries to destroy it. After God leads you to your destined partner, the devil will try to destroy the relationship, because he does not want God's purpose for the relationship to be fulfilled. He may succeed at tearing you guys apart, but do not lose hope. The God that brought you together once can do it again. He can mend the relationship. It is not over until God says it is over. Pray to God fervently and ask Him to bring you guys back together. Pray that He repairs your relationship with your soulmate. God is capable of doing anything. He is a God of turnaround, and He can turn the situation around for you. Some separations are only temporary. When love is meant to be, it will be. If God has told you that you are meant to be with your soulmate, then you have to reconcile with him or her. However, before doing so, try to solve the problem the previous relationship had. You do not just go back in the same way, doing the same things and expecting them to be different. They say, stupidity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting different results. Change the input if you want a different output. Reconciliation is not always easy. It requires determination, patience, and a lot of prayers. Do not give up if it seems like it is not going the way you planned. Just remain focused on the goal. Pray to God to help you free your soulmate from whoever is holding him or her. God is very wise, and He has the answer to all questions. God should always be a priority in all areas of your life. You should constantly inform Him of all the things happening in your life, because He's not only a wise counselor, but also a good listener. Unburden yourself to Him and free your heart. If you are confused about what to do next, ask God. He will give you the right answer. Just ask. He is privy to all knowledge, so He knows what is good for you. If He thinks that your ex is the right partner for you, He will help you reconcile with him or her. And if He thinks the breakup was the correct step, listen to Him and trust Him. He knows your whole journey. When things go wrong in our relationships, we tend to complain bitterly to people. While it is good to unburden your heart, be careful about who you unburden your heart with. This does not mean that you should tell everyone about your problem. For the problem to be half solved, someone else has to carry part of the responsibility. Share your problems with people who can help you. Some people will listen to you and help you search for a solution, and there will turn your problem into a source of entertainment for themselves. Learn how to distinguish between both sets of people. One of the people you can seek advice from is your religious leader. Be it a priest, pastor, or prophet. Go to them and share your problem with them. They will advise you based on the wisdom of God, not on their knowledge. God could speak through them and tell you what to do. We sometimes find it difficult to open up about our problems, especially personal problems. We are uncomfortable discussing the problems we face in our relationships. But the fact remains that we are not islands. We cannot always have the answers to our problems. Sometimes, we need to seek help. You should not be ashamed to seek help. It is not an act of weakness, despite what some people say. In the New Testament, the Bible recorded that the church behaved like a family. One person's problem became everyone's problem. They shared their wealth among themselves and took care of one another. This lifestyle, while not as firm as it was, is still in practice today. Fellowships of believers helping one another. In some churches, there are established counseling units. You can go to the counseling unit as well to seek advice about your broken relationship. There is a common saying that those who refuse to learn from history are bound to repeat it. Every mistake in life is a lesson, but for us to learn from them, we have to first acknowledge it. If you do not want a reconciliation to end up the same way the relationship ended, you need to examine the relationship. Why did you guys break up? How did you lose him or her? You have to ask yourself these questions. Discover what went wrong in the relationship on both parts. That way, you can prevent the same thing from repeating itself. You do not just discover the problem, you also have to work on it. This is the hardest part of losing a soulmate, letting go. You could break up with your soulmate and still be holding on to him or her. We sometimes find it hard to accept that the relationship is over, and when we accept that it is over, we become filled with intense emotions. Often, we experience a period of emotional numbness when we do not feel anything. If God told you to move on, then you have to, regardless of how difficult it is. God knows what is best for you. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 says, "For I know the thoughts I have towards you, thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end." You may not understand God's plan for your life, but you have to trust Him. He has known you even before you were formed in your mother's womb, and He has great plans for you. You will go through some pain, but God will be right there with you, and He will provide you comfort. Moving on from a breakup with a soulmate is difficult, especially because of the soul-to-soul connection. The person is always on your mind, and you are plagued by sweet memories. Some people even believe that it is impossible to move on from that kind of love. The good news is, they are wrong. The love may always remain in your heart, but you can move on. It will be hard, but not impossible. The first step you have to take is to accept the loss. Know that he or she is no longer a part of your life. You have to let go of the person. Reshaping some of your shared habits can help. If there are some things that you used to do together, switching them up could help. Letting go of some of the habits helps to let go of the person. That is because some of these habits are tied intricately to the person, and the habits could be a thread of connection that you are still holding on to. Many people believe that you only have one soulmate. That is wrong. We have several soulmates, and we are just yet to discover them. Even if you never meet another soulmate, you will find someone else. God will pair you up with someone designed just for you. The love may not be as great as the one you shared with your soulmate, but it will be better. By letting go of your soulmate, you cut the unhealthy bonds and pave the way for freedom and peace. You are stronger than your falls. When you fall, you rise again. We often suffer losses, but we should not let the losses define us. Losing your soulmate is excruciatingly painful. The experience can break you if you let it. Our God is a God of restoration. Losing your soulmate to the devil or someone is not the end. God can restore your soulmate to you. He can turn the tide in your favor, so hold on to Him.